Welcome to today's video. PGA Boomer over here, and today I would like to present to you my humble collection of Gene Hackman movies because as you can guess from the title of today's video, I would like to briefly go over some of the films of this actor who suddenly passed away together with his wife. The news broke out on Wednesday and Thursday, depending on where you live. But the actor, as it was revealed by the police, has been dead for quite some time, allegedly since the 17th of February. So this is a very saddening piece of news, especially in view of the fact that Gene Hackman was one of my favorite actors. So without further delay, allow me to present the movies I have with this actor in chronological order. So first of all, we have The French Connection on DVD. So here's the front, the spine, and the back, which presents the information that it has received 5 Academy Awards, including for the Best Picture, 20th Century Fox release. I'm not entirely sure from which year exactly, but the year on the back over here specifies it was 2009. And here's the disc with Raging Papa Doyle during Pursuit. I remember that around 2009 I watched the movie on television, and it was certainly a different type of police movie. I really liked all the intrigue, the chase scenes, the atmosphere of rotten New York City, and the character of Papa Doll himself is actually a very repulsive character as a police officer. Next movie, so this The French Connection, I think, was released in 1971, and the year after we have another 20th Century Fox title, which is The Poseidon Adventure, which I discussed in one of my previous videos, a standalone video, and I also presented the disc itself already. So here's the front, here's the side, and here's the back, and here's the disc itself without the title. So there it is, Gene Hackman in another memorable role as a reverend. Up next we have a 1974 title, which is The Conversation. So we have, I have, a square cardboard sleeve release, which was included in one of the newspapers, but it was actually distributed by Mayfly distributor over here, and the disc itself is actually a normal disc, but it doesn't have any special features. As a matter of fact, The French Connection and The Poseidon Adventure do not have special features as well. I actually revisited this film recently, and it still holds up. It's one of the most interesting and poignant roles by Gene Hackman. And of course, as you know, he revisited this role in Tony Scott's, I believe, Public Enemy, yes, if I remember correctly the name, with Will Smith. And another title from 1975, and this is also 2009 20th Century Fox release, and this is The French Connection Part 2. And I really love this cover with the silhouette of Papa Doyle, but if I'm not mistaken, in the background we have New York, but the action of the film actually takes place in France, in Marseille. So here's the front, here's the spine, and here's the back, and here's the disc itself with Popeye in captivity by the bad guys. People have mixed feelings about the sequel, but I really do appreciate it, and I think in terms of exploring the character of Papa Doyle, of developing his arc as a police officer who actually tries to redeem himself and as a human being, this movie really excels itself where in an area which is not necessarily explored by the first movie. And it's actually mind-blowing to know that there were plans for the third French Connection movie at the end of the 1970s, but Gene Hackman turned it down, and this idea turned out was transformed into Nighthawks movie with Sylvester Stallone. Up next we have 1992 release by Warner Brothers, and this is the movie Unforgiven. And honestly, I am not a big fan of Clint Eastwood. I am not an avid watcher of westerns. As a matter of fact, I am not a big fan of this movie, but I do appreciate Gene Hackman's performance in this movie, and he deservedly earned an Oscar for this. So here's the front, and actually this is not like a proper standalone release. This is actually part of Clint Eastwood Legend of Cinema Polish collection, and this was actually the second title in this collection. So we have the front, and here's the back, because all of the spines, maybe I will show these DVDs in a separate video. All the spines were part of the collection, they formed an image. And here's the back with Clint Eastwood. And we actually get some bonus features, which is a theatrical trailer and a commentary. And actually, over here we have the disc itself, and it is actually a double-sided disc. Because I do no longer have this, but a piece of paper was included in the casing, which stated that on one side we have this and those language tracks, and on another side we have another language track with subtitles and so on and so on. So yeah, here it is, Unforgiven. Okay, next, Crimson Tide. It's not one of my favorite submarine movies, but it's up there in the top. Really like the premise of this movie, what could happen on a nuclear submarine, and love the Hans Zimmer music, tight, cinematography and direction by Tony Scott, and the performances by Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. I did manage to get this film by a complete accident at some giveaway trade, and the release itself is actually interesting. You have the front, the spine with Hollywood Pictures logo, and the back, and we actually get bonus features, proper bonus features this time. So theatrical trailer, unused or extended scenes, on-set featurette with some of the shenanigans made by the cast. And here's the disc itself, which has typical Disney-like look, and inside some of the other Hollywood Pictures releases that were advertised. And the most interesting thing about this was that it's not just, Hollywood Pictures, Touchdown Pictures, Buena Vista Home International release from 2012, but this movie in Poland was released by CD Projekt, which is not really a movie distribution company, it's a gaming company. And I tried to look some more information about this release, but it's not like it was included in some magazine or newspaper. It seems to be a standalone release issued by this company, so this is pretty interesting. Next, we have, this is actually a newspaper edition in a slim cover. So newspapers, we have the logo of the newspaper that, they used to issue like a series of movies, a selection of their titles included into a newspaper. They would make deals with distributors and so on, and it's one of these. So we have, the title of their series, The Factory of Sensation 2, and this is the first title from this series by the newspaper, and this is The Chamber. So a John Grisham adaptation by Ron Howard, with Gene Hackman and Chris O'Donnell in the leading roles. Not the best John Grisham book, not the best John Grisham adaptation, but Gene Hackman really rocks in this movie and really gives off the vibes of Anthony Hopkins from Silence of the Lambs. So yes, here's the front, here's the slim cover spine, and here's the back with all the info and movie description. And over here we have the disc itself and announcement that next week you should grab another movie from the newspaper collection, which is Red Dragon with Anthony Hopkins. And last but not least from my collection is the same newspaper series, this time issue number 5, Under Suspicion, with Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman and Monica Bellucci. So a crime drama. So here's the front, here's the slim spine, and here's the back, and here's the disc itself with announcement for a John Travolta movie. It's okay. Honestly, I've seen this movie only once, but it imprinted itself on my mind. It was so memorable, especially the performances of Gene Hackman and Morgan Freeman. And I highly recommend this to you if you're interested, in checking. If you're not interested in old movies and you watch newer movies, because it was like from late 90s, early 2000s. One of the last, I believe, Gene Hackman movies, because the last two proper films he made was another John Grisham adaptation, Runaway Jury, and a comedy with Maura Tierney, if I remember correctly, Welcome to Mooseport. So this was 2004. Then in 2006 we had a release of Richard Donner's Superman 2 cut. And in 2008, if I remember correctly, Gene Hackman was giving an interview to promote his fiction novel, and he stated that he has, he retired from acting. So that's it. Thank you very much for all the wonderful memories, Gene. And if I were to choose my favorite movie from this whole selection of the movies which I have, it's very difficult to choose, but maybe I would go with Crimson Tide. But definitely my top favorite Gene Hackman performance of all time is as Coach Dale from the movie Hoosiers. And I hope that one day maybe I will be able to get a physical media release of this movie. It's actually also one of my all-time favorite movies, Hoosiers. So thank you very much, Gene, for all of these movies, for Hoosiers, for Night Moves, for Uncommon Valor, I watched Alcohol Barrel last month, and my mom also watched it, and she googled what's going on with Gene Hackman when he was still alive. So thank you very much for everything. Rest in peace.